As you begin to wonder just how many ways there are to respond, something interesting happens, doesn't it? That old feeling, the one that used to seem like the only choice, begins to loosen, soften, shift. Because have you noticed, the mind, it has a way of opening when it discovers that what once felt like two roads was actually an entire landscape. Imagine a river. It doesn't fight the rocks, doesn't freeze in place. It flows, finds new paths, carves new ways, sometimes slow, sometimes rushing, sometimes swirling, playful, dancing. And if the river can do that, what else can? Some people, they say life is a battlefield. Some say it's a game. Some say it's a dance. And you might begin to notice just how differently each of those beliefs feel. A battlefield demands confrontation or retreat. A dance, a game, playful. A joyful moment. Now, that opens something new, doesn't it? As you think about this, you might even start to notice how the mind loves patterns, loves choices, loves possibilities. Because possibilities are freedom, and freedom feels good. And you've had this all along, haven't you? The ability to step back, smile, tilt your head just slightly and think, oh, there's another way. Because isn't it fascinating how, once you see another path, it was always there. It just needed a shift, a playfulness, a curiosity. Doesn't that feel wonderful? Because right now, right here, something's shifting, isn't it? That old way of seeing things, that old way of feeling stuck, it's already fading, transforming, evolving. And something new, something lighter, something more fun is taking its place. And I wonder just how quickly you'll notice this next time. That moment when a challenge arises, and a part of you, without even trying, just laughs, just relaxes, just flows, and says, oh, I know what to do, and it's going to be fun. Because life, it's so much more than two choices. And now you see it, now you feel it, now you are it. Isn't that wonderful? So as you continue to relax and breathe, imagine a moment when you felt trapped. You may have felt like there were only two choices, either fight or flee, but then something shifts, doesn't it? You begin to see there are countless ways to move forward, each one more open, more alive, more full of possibility. It's like a door that once seemed locked suddenly swings wide open, and as it does, a lightness fills the space. And just like that, things begin to flow. In that moment, it's as if time slows down, and you realize something important. That old, familiar feeling, the one that tells you there's only confrontation or retreat, it starts to melt away. And in its place, there's a sense of peace, of freedom, and most importantly, of choice. There's always been more than one way to respond. There's always been more than one path. And now you can feel it, can't you? That sense of understanding deep inside. That there are playful, joyful, loving, humorous options, just waiting for you to discover them. So imagine now stepping into any situation, one where in the past you might have felt you needed to act in one way or another, and yet now you see a range of possibilities, each one offering something new, each one more aligned with who you are now, who you're becoming. And each of those possibilities, those choices, they're not just easy, they're effortless, because you've opened to them, you've allowed them in. And you don't have to push or force anything, you just feel the flow. Can you see it now, how everything begins to shift? How all of those once narrow choices, they expand in an instant, like a horizon opening up before you, endless and full of opportunity. You can feel that, can't you? The sense of lightness, of ease, of joy. It's not just about having more options. It's about knowing every one of those options is just as valid, just as empowering. It's like watching the clouds move across the sky, each one taking a different path. yet all part of the same beautiful flow. And as you breathe, as you relax even deeper, you can feel it settling into you. The understanding that conflict is no longer necessary. The retreat isn't required. There's always another way, a way that feels playful, loving, and most of all, free. And every time you pause to think, you realize how many peaceful, humorous, fun choices are always available to you. Now think about a moment ahead, a moment when something might come up, something you once thought required confrontation or retreat. But now, with this new understanding, you can already feel yourself responding differently. Instead of getting caught up in the old patterns, you feel calm, and maybe even a little curious. You wonder, what's the most joyful way to respond? And instantly a way presents itself, as if the world itself is inviting you to play, to choose with ease, because deep inside you know this. There are always more than two ways. And every time you make this choice, every time you embrace the fun, playful, and peaceful way of responding, it becomes easier and easier. It becomes second nature, and you begin to wonder why you ever thought there were only two choices. And as you continue to let this settle deep within you, you can feel a deep shift taking place. It's not a thought, it's not a decision. It's simply the way you are now. You can almost feel it in your body, in your every movement, light, easy, full of possibilities. You know there's no limits, no restrictions. There's always something new to try, something joyful to explore. And every time you notice the old patterns, the old ways of thinking, they simply dissolve because your mind now understands something deeper, something more powerful. There's no need to choose between confrontation or retreat. You can respond with humour, with love, with ease. And the more you do, the more you realise how natural, how effortless it truly is. And as you go through your day, you'll find it happens without even thinking. You'll feel the shift, the lightness, the ease. And you'll smile because you've discovered something extraordinary. The power of choice, the power of freedom, and the peaceful joy that comes when you embrace every possibility that life offers. You may even find yourself thinking, of course, there are many ways. And every time you choose one of those ways, you'll find it's exactly what you need in that moment. You'll be playful, joyful, humorous, peaceful, and free.